Hi everyone, glad to see you here. I just wanted to spend some time with you today to share something that happened to me recently. And I want to use that as an illustration to teach something about people giving positive feedback or criticism and the way that we can possibly receive it, and kind of some of the damage that it can do to us if we're not very careful about what's going on. So before I get into that, I just wanted to say thank you to my new subscribers. I'm glad to have you on board. I feel honored actually that you are subscribing to this channel, and I hope that you get a lot of benefit, and the stuff that you hear will help you to think so that it can ignite something in you for you to be authentically who you really are, and so that you can walk in your power. What I wanted to share with you today is about an experience that I had recently, and I wanted to use that as a tool to help those of you who don't know how to deal with some of the stuff and feedback that you get given, or the criticism that people want to give you, or their idea of constructive feedback. I mean, everybody is a judge. Everybody wants to tell you what they think and what you're doing wrong and how you can do it better, But what I wanted to talk about, what happened in this experience, and I wanted to tell you what I thought about it, and some ways that we can look at the situation to benefit us, you, me, moving forward. So what happened was, I created an ad and I put it on my YouTube channel. It's the one that's got, anxious and stressed, or anxious or stressed. So I'll put the picture of it here as I'm talking to you. The reason I put it out there is for people who are searching for information about anxiety and stress, can find out about me, can see if they like me, and connect with me as a coach and a mentor. So the whole idea was to capture their attention, to give them an idea what I'm like, and if they're interested, then they can connect with me and take advantage of my offer that I was offering. Now, this is the first, I think it's the first real ad that I made like this. I went and I corrected some mistakes that I had made with a previous ad that I put, which is also on this channel as well, because it had too many words and stuff like that. So I created this new ad, but I put a lot of moving images. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you want to, you can stop this video here, go have a look at that, and then come back. It's the first time I've actually really made something like this. I corrected one that I had on before that made me sound like monotone, and here I'm saying come and see me, and it's all boring and it's all one tone. So I thought, no, I can't just keep that on there. I've got to change it. And my son helped me get an idea about having these moving pictures. So it's my first real attempt at doing an ad this way, and I was happy with it. It wasn't perfect, but I was happy with it. I think it got the message that I wanted across, and it gave the image of kind of the realm of what I wanted to be out there. So I was pleased with it. I stayed up really late doing it and everything, so I was really happy with it. But this criticism that I got when I went into the chat for this course group that I was doing was the person started to say, he started off positive, and then he started to talk about how my pictures and the sound and what I'm saying was not all together. Basically, he was saying that the tempo of the music didn't match my voice. So either I changed my voice or I changed the tempo and make it slower. So it was a critique about how to make the video perfect, I guess, in his eyes. And he also put another critique there about somebody else who made a comment in the video, and I hope that if that person who made that comment under that video is watching this, and that you listen to this and benefit from this as well, because there's nothing I believe that you did wrong. And I thought that was completely fine. It didn't bother me at all. And I thank you for writing the comment for me as well. So what I wanted to really talk to you about was, it's so easy to get somebody who wants to give you feedback or criticism or whatever to help you to make something that they feel that you're doing better. But what they're actually doing is their sense of what is perfection for them, they're trying to give it to you. Now, this can be a problem when many people can go into cycles of perfectionism, because if they don't know who they really are and they're developing and learning who they really are, this can really be a stumbling block for them. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Now, if I'm not sure of who I am and I didn't like myself, and if I didn't know that the real treasure to the success of that ad is not the way the ad was made, the real treasure is actually inside me. It's what I can release out of myself that's going to give life to people. It's not even the way I look. It's not the way the video sounds or anything else. It's actually me inside me. It's the talent and the gift and the vibrations and everything that I am that I want to release to give. So if I didn't know that, and because I can have a tendency to want to do it right, because let's face it, everybody really wants to do it right unless they're really broken. So what could have happened by me listening to that is I could have gone off on a tangent and thought, oh my gosh, yes, my voice didn't match the tempo, and the clips didn't go in line with everything I said at the right time, and it was disjointed and da 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 da. And then what could have happened was I could have spent a lot of time, if I followed that niggling, that thing that triggered something in me to want it to be perfect and to please other people and to do what he said. I could have just veered off and spent a lot of time trying to fix that ad. I could have spent time getting new videos, new background moving images and new words. I could have re-recorded it over and over again, and I could have been trapped in the cycle of trying to do it right, because really sometimes in our own eyes we really can't do it right. We can't do it right because the perfection idea that we have is not often met. So we end up being in these cycles, working, being dissatisfied, scrapping it all again, scrunching it, throwing away, and starting over and over again. And this is a problem because there are some people who are so driven by other people's perfectionism, and that they feel that they cannot do anything right. And this is a real problem, because the truth of the matter, let me put it this way, the truth of the matter is, my main point that I put that up there was to release something about who I am. So here I am, I'm moving in my journey, and there is an end goal, and I'm a coach and a mentor and a motivational speaker. So this is something that this video I'm using as a tool to help me achieve something, and it's a form of expression of what I want to do with that. So I'm going in my journey, I'm using that video to walk into my journey. The problem is, when this came through, it had the power because it wanted to trigger something in me to get me hooked up in something that would take me completely off course. So the problem with this type of perfectionism is that it's not really authentically me. It's got nothing to do with what I really want to do, with what I really want to achieve, and the goal that I'm trying to get to. He doesn't know how to be me. He doesn't know what I'm trying to do, and he doesn't know that what I actually did achieved what I had personally wanted to do. Now, it may not have achieved what he wanted to do. The other thing is, who the heck is this guy? He doesn't know me. He doesn't love me. He doesn't really care about me. And where is your work yourself? Like, where's the proof that you are so much better in this idea? And the reason I bring that up is because these people that seem to know everything about what we can do, what we can't do, and how we need to change things, half the time their lives are in a mess themselves, and they're not even doing what they really want to do. So, but I wanted to bring this video in line and to talk about this to you because it is so important for people to realize that the real treasure is who they are. Authenticity and being a success, being a successfully charismatic person as who I am, it cannot be taught to me by that guy or another guy or somebody else. And another interesting thing, he critiqued this lady as well, and yet there was no comment left by him or anything else. So there are these people who are just triggered all the time. They're not happy, I guess, with the attempts that people make or whatever. I'm not really judging him, because for all I know, he probably sincerely meant to give something positive, but the way it came across was not positive, and it really showed more about him than myself. But what I wanted to talk about is that this idea of living according to somebody else's ways of how we should do things or what we should do to improve and we can never please everybody. And half the time, even if you do what other people say, you can never please them. And the whole point is not really about pleasing him or anybody else. The whole point is for me to walk in my journey and find out what works for me, that which I am doing right, that which I'm doing wrong. Now, does this mean that I don't have to listen to what he says? No. I can take the good parts of what he says, and if I want to, according to who I am, the way I interpret and receive things in myself, I can choose whether it's something that is beneficial and can benefit me, and I can take on board and move forward with it in my life. But the decision is mine to make, not the triggers, the things that come in, and these people that want to prod and poke, or the things that they say come and prod and poke us to this idea of perfectionism. So much of what other people say in terms of their feedback and their helpful hints and comments can be really designed to make us better, but in their image, like according to what they want. It is not actually designed to make us better. Now, I want to quickly talk about why I put identity in the title. People see, the most important question and the thing that everything is about is answering this question: who do you think you are? It's all about identity. It's all about who you are and who you believe you are and who you think you are and who you want to be. It's all about you being authentically yourself. Now, if you can't answer that question, and if you don't know how to be authentically who you are, then you are driven by the voices of other people trying to tell you who you are. And often a lot of the problems that we have and a lot of the pain that we feel and a lot of the experiences that we have is because we do not know who we are, and we have not developed who we are, because the real power is actually from who we really are, who we know we are, and who we think we are. And when we are who we are and who we think we are, and being genuinely who we really are, we can choose and we can work on our weaknesses. We can choose a new destiny. We can create anything we want to be in terms of the kind of people we are and how we develop and what kind of world that we have and what kind of a life that we have. But if we don't, then other people will tell us who we think we are or who they think we are. and all these labels and these ideas of perfectionism and the things that we need to do and the things that they think, that we often just spend many of our years and our time just trying to please, but it really gets us nowhere, and it makes us really unhappy because it never comes out from the inside of us. Everything that we really have is inside of us. It's written in our DNA. Not only does our DNA contain information about the color eyes that we have, or the colored skin that we have, or some of the tendencies that we have to weaknesses in terms of health and stuff like that, but it contains in it things about destiny, things about power, things about who we were created to be. It contains information about who we are. The books that we need to write is in us. The person who we are is inside us. The kind of life and tendencies and likes and dislikes that we have is in us. All the riches, all the wealth is in us. It has to be opened up and read and developed and looked at and created according to what is authentically from inside us. And that's why perfectionism can be a huge and a detrimental deal breaker and a problem, because if we don't know who we are, we're going to be trapped in cycles of other people's stuff, cycles of perfectionism, that even if we do, say that your perfectionism is expressed in having a really clean house and everything has to be perfect and clean. Even when everything is perfect and clean, there is a sense of dissatisfaction. There's a sense of still disorder and a yearning for something more. It's never enough. Anything coming from the outside will never be enough, because it has to be a flow that comes in us and that lives in us, and it goes out of us to other people and throughout the world. So I hope you've gotten something out of this. I just want to say, I know that this video is not perfect. I know the camera, the way things are, it's not perfect. I'm not trying to do this perfectly. You see, all I need is one word that I say that comes out and go into you and would give you life and set you free. The power doesn't come in these external things. The power is in our ability to be who we are and to be able to connect with one another and to link up on a realm and in a grounding level where we can actually make a difference. So we're all connected and we all need each other, and we all have a piece or a part of the puzzle that we can help each other. So I know this video is not perfect. I hope you like the image. I love the flowers and stuff, and I hope you enjoy looking at it. I hope you get something really wonderful out of it. And if you'd like to make a comment, feel free to make a comment. Feel free to make even a negative comment. But just remember that negative comment and the comments you make are more a reflection of you and what's coming out of inside you than more about me. Because if you really cared about me, and if what you had to say was really important and was coming out of a good place, it would create life in me, and it would help me to be the best version of myself, and it would help me to be who I really am. It would enrich that. So if people are not enriching your life, if they're not helping you to be who you really are and honoring who you really are, you really have to question whether you should be listening to them. So I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope that it gives you an idea of how to think about certain things. I hope that the lesson and the thing that I've just gone through that I wanted to share with you makes a difference. Or if not to you, maybe you can at some point use it to help somebody else. I just want to thank you for your time, for listening to me, for looking at this video, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I'll probably do a few more of these type videos. All right, look after yourself and be yourself and live an extremely glorious life. Bye.